recently Ethereum hit an all-time high, and I want to talk about how you mine it. And I've been mining Ether, which is the cryptocurrency on the Ethereum platform, on the same computer I built a couple years ago. And it's much easier to do than you think. Okay, and so let me walk through very quickly how to do this, and anybody can do this, okay? But don't spend a penny on anything until you hear me discuss if you can actually mine in your country, meaning if it's profitable and if it's legal. So when you mine Ethereum and many cryptocurrencies, when you build a computer, you start off with a frame. You don't use a big computer box around it because we want these things to stay cool. Then what you do is you buy a motherboard to plug everything into, and I'll show you how in a second. You also buy the cheapest processor, or one of the cheapest processors you can find, and you only get 4 gigs of RAM, and you buy a power source. And most importantly, you buy a graphics card. That's the most important thing. And there's a great website here called PCPartPicker.com, which helps you decide what parts to buy. And it actually makes sure that all the parts work together. And if any of the parts don't work together, right, you select the parts on the left side there. And then once you select them, you can buy them, click through for Amazon. I'm sure they get affiliate revenue. But if any of the pieces or parts don't work together, then up there in that green box, it'll say there's compatibility issues, okay, right here. So once you select your parts, this website here, PCPartPicker.com, this website will tell you the total power used by the parts in wattage, which you can see here. And this needs to be less than the power source you buy. Okay. And you can also search to see if there's completed builds that you can use that people have already made for you for great gaming PCs or for cryptocurrency mining PCs on this website, PCPartPicker. And the biggest caveat, though, is if you can buy a graphics card, which are sold out everywhere. And when you research your graphics card, which is also called a GPU, you have to find out if it's powerful enough to mine Ethereum profitably. And so we go right here to a website called Hashrates.com. Okay, and you can see it right here. And those are a bunch of different graphics cards listed on the left side. If you scroll down, there's tons of them there. So we look at what's called the hash rate, which is kind of like when you mine, it tells you how good the axe or pixel is, so to speak, the hash rate. Okay, and let's use the hash rate, for example, here of 48.5. All right, so 48.5, which right here is the hash rate of a graphics card called GeForce RTX 3080. Then what you do after you get the hash rate, don't buy anything yet until we find out if it's profitable for you to do it where you live, that meaning mining. Then what you do next is you go to a website called Coin Wars right here. And then you select on mining calculators at the top there. And then you select Ethereum, okay, the mining calculator, see if it's profitable for you, okay. Then what you do is you enter in the hash rate of that graphics card. Okay, so in this case, it's 48.5. Then you select the power consumption in watts. Then the electricity cost, which I'll come back to in a second. So in this case, I put 10 cents. Okay, and that's 10 cents per kilowatt hour. And then there's a pool fee. You never mine Ethereum by yourself. It's just too hard to do. So you do it as part of a pool. And usually you pay a 1% fee. And I'll show you how this works in a second. And then lastly, what you see there is the daily profit that you would make if you had electricity costs at 10 cents. And so if your computer costs you $250 to make, which it never will, it's always more. But hypothetically speaking, if your computer costs you $250 to make, then that means it'll take you 100 days to break even. If it costs you $750 to make, it'll take you closer to a year to break even. So what about the kilowatt cost where you live? So all you do is you go to Google and you type in kilowatt cost, okay, in your state or your country. So let's select Virginia, for example, which is a great state in the United States. And we see the cost of mining. in Virginia is about 12 cents. So we enter in 12 cents here, and we see that we're going to make a profit mining of $2.20 per day. All right, cool. Now, what software do you put on your computer? Now, I use Microsoft Windows. You can use Linux if you want to, but I use Windows. And to mine, what you're going to do is you're going to go to a website called Nanopool, okay? And here it is here. You select Quick Start. Then you download the mining software. It's really, really easy to do. And then what you do is you start mining. And so right here, here's an example of my mining computer, right? It's Haroon Ventures Miner is what I call it. And you can monitor this in real time if you go to haroonventures.com/crypto. And you'll be able to see in real time, lowercase crypto. But right here, you can see that I'm mining. And what happens is once you make enough money, then the Ether, the Ethereum cryptocurrency, is wired to or sent directly to your wallet. And I'll show you in Coinbase in a second. So right here, I'm currently mining, and currently I'm at $231 US. But once I get to 0.2 of an Ether, which will end up being closer to $1,000, whatever, what happens is it'll automatically get sent to me in 2 months approximately, says there. And so what happens is this. It gets sent to me by Nanopool, okay? They take a 1% fee. It gets sent directly to my public key, right? And public key is kind of like your email address. Your email address is your public key. Your password for your email account is your private key. You never give that away. But it gets sent here to my public key here on Coinbase. So that's how mining works.